Welcome to Uncover with Dale, where stories are not just told, but shared as a gift to the world. Imagine a place where every voice...
Lost this rumor, and I think someone took their life, if I recall the film correctly. But she was just like this vicious nun in this film.
Yeah.
She was just so talented. She's just...
Here, the microphone is yours. Speak, and the world will listen. Whether it's a tale of triumph, a journey through hardship, or a moment of pure joy, your voice can spark change, inspire hope, and build connections. So take a deep breath. Your story is a gift waiting to be shared.
And good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Uncover with Dale at NBR Radio, where we're giving veterans a voice. Today, we have a special co-host with us today. We have Amber from Into the Weeds. She has a really amazing podcast with NBR. We also have V from the Revel experience and Joel. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I survived the great storm of Colorado, 2024 snowstorm. How did you guys do?
Good. Lost power for a bit, but exciting. Hopefully this is a precursor of what's to come, because I'm ready for winter sports.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. Did any of you guys lose power at all? Or
I lost power for 13 hours.
Oh,
My sister-in-law lost for 2 days. So thankfully she was able to come to our house and hang out for the weekend and at least have a warm place to sleep. And she brought her little grandson, and so that was good. I don't know if she enjoyed herself, but she had a place to come.
And I don't live in Missouri. I do live in Missouri.
I'm like, where are we right now?
She just plays a Missourian on TV.
I don't live in Colorado. I live in Missouri.
Okay.
And so we just got in here this morning.
Well, welcome.
Or not this morning, yesterday morning.
Okay.
My brain is not on
That's
full
okay.
cylinder.
That's okay. It's been a long couple of weeks, right? But I'm glad welcome to Colorado.
I was going to say, I'm the one that had you guys do a show for like, 10, 11 minutes. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. We're not recording. My bad, guys.
Yeah, that was a test run, but
Yeah.
Test runs are good.
Yeah,
right?
test runs are good.
Yep.
Hey, I've been doing this for like 15 years, and I can tell you I still get gremlins. So it just happens. But you know what? It's fun because, like, for example, me and Amber, we went out to eat yesterday, right? And it popped out of my mouth, but I didn't think about it, the no filter thing. And we went in there, and I looked at it, and I'm like, well, at least you speak English. You don't say that stuff out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, yeah. Well, back to that storm, man. 30 inches. That was just crazy. And being trapped in a house for that long, I was just trying to think of things to do. I did some experimental cooking for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you're not used to being around your spouse all that time.
I know, right? I'm like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Do you live here? But yeah, it was we made it. We did some snow shoveling and things like that.
Heavy, wet snow too, man.
I know.
God, it was backbreaking.
It was. But it's a good workout, right?
Yeah, it was a good workout. Because I was supposed to. That was my swim laps day, and I went to the rec center and closed. It's like great.
Oh my!
So I was like, screw it. I got a good workout. I mean, I was out there for a good 2.5 hours just shoveling the driveway and the sidewalks, and so I was like, that was my workout.
It's nice. We kind of actually got our little own ski resort in the back of our house. It's Mini Hill. And
that's nice.
Parents are just throwing their kids down the hill on these Walmart sleds.
Yeah,
I'm just like, oh man, there's a tree right there, but hopefully it works out.
Yeah.
We actually did it a couple times when we first moved in, but it's been a minute. So. Well, yeah, so we got through the great storm of 2024 and a crazy election and a lot of celebrity deaths. So, gosh, I don't even know where to start.
Right.
I do want to thank our viewers. Thank you all for joining us today. And please feel free to share this live and invite more friends as well. So let's start with the elections, make it easy, or actually not the election, the recent celebrity deaths, Quincy Jones.
Okay.
Amazing.
Great Quincy Jones.
Yes. The guy composed music for Frank Sinatra,
scores of others. I mean,
film
he
scores.
just, I mean, his accolades are just so impressive.
Yeah, I was actually watching some videos, and they're like, he would just literally pick up an instrument and just start playing on it. Like he just wanted to learn every instrument as possible before he even got into Motown,
Wow.
which is really cool. And just all the careers he launched, you know.
Yes. All the lives he touched. I mean,
Yeah.
just incredibly impressive.
Yeah, right. Who do you start with? See, Michael Jackson,
Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Well, what was Clive Davis? Did he do Whitney Houston?
Oh yeah, that might
I
have
get
been
him
Clive
confused
Davis.
too. Yeah, it's like, wait a minute, was it all these good
Yeah, it was
documentaries?
Clive Davis.
Clive Davis,
Yeah.
which is another genius. But just Quincy Jones' career spanned decades. He was a prodigy, definitely. He wrote music. He sung music. He did a ton of stuff.
He collaborated on so many projects.
Yeah, he did. He was really well-known, amazing musician.
I mean, didn't he? He did. He spearheaded "We Are the World," didn't he?
Yeah. He did that. The documentary actually confirms they did all that in one day.
Wow,
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And and it said, "Check your egos at the door."
Yep.
And he knew he wanted Bob Dylan on this part. He knew he wanted Cyndi Lauper on this part.
Wow.
He just had a
gift.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And it shows you the huge amount of respect that he had when he said, "Check your ego at the door," and they're all like, "Yes, sir."
Yeah.
Not gonna get any friction from me, sir.
Yeah. You can most notably you can see who's missing from the performance. So I wonder if there was some egos.
That weren't willing to check it at the door.
Yeah. I think even he reached out to Prince, but Prince wanted.
He didn't want to work with Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? I'm just like, I mean, you all got gifts. Why can't we all collaborate and work together? Tina Turner, he just had so many amazing. I know Bob Dylan had a little bit of situation with the filming of that because he's not used to being around crowds. So they kind of took a break during lunch, and he sat down. I think Bob Dylan sat down at the piano with Ray Charles or maybe and tried to work through his vocals, and he suddenly was able to kind of push his way through that. But I love Bob Dylan. He was just he's an amazing musician. Who else did we lose? My printout, of course, the names in printout, but the guy who played Candyman.
Yeah.
He was also, if you're a Star Trekkie, he also played Worf's brother on Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Oh, I didn't know he didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Are you a Trekkie?
Well, no. My mom used to watch it all the time when I was a kid. So.
Oh man, you had me so excited there for a minute, Amber. Okay.
I'm an old school Trekkie, so I like the original Captain Kirk and Spock, and that's. I mean, I did watch Deep Space Nine a little bit, and I watched the one with Captain Picard a little bit with my brother, but I really like the old. It was only on the air for 3 years, but
Amber, I was recently talking to Mr. C over here, and he wanted me to explain that what she's talking about, the Project Sanctuary event that's going Friday.
Okay.
That's the one that I wanted you and Charles to attend.
Oh, okay.
I think the more people that we can get over there, because I don't know, V said that he was going.
And Joel conveniently is not going to be there. I'll call in for 5 minutes.
I'll be there.
What can I say?
But we need to coordinate times because I can't go until the afternoon.
Right.
Okay.
I was thinking, maybe 12 or 1.
Yeah, that'd be perfect for me.
Erica's going to show up when she shows up,
and it would be perfect for you, Amber, because you've never probably heard of Project Sanctuary before, and I think it would be something that you and Charles would
they have
be
wonderful
beneficial.
Couples programs, retreats and stuff.
That's the real reason why I was trying to get you over there.
He's not trying to say you're having marital problems or anything. He's just
no.
He does
he does pry though. He comes to my house all the time and tries to counsel me and my wife.
I do not.
He does. He mails me marriage books all the time. Marriage therapy referrals.
Yeah,
he gives
does
all the time, so.
Does DoorDash, he'll ring my doorbell and run off, and I get him on the Ring doorbell every time. I'm like, dude, I saw you leave that bag of poop on my doorstep.
No, but those retreats are amazing.
You are definitely a grandpa. You've got stories out your wazoo. Let me tell you.
Oh my gosh. Well, before we were cut off from there.
Yeah, right. So rudely interrupted. Jackasses.
Who else is dead? Who else died? My name's in printout, but yeah, the guy who played Candyman, someone else.
Looks like they did a little bit. Hold on a second here.
Yeah, it's kind of the dates are there, so maybe.
Jen Gatt or Ben Gatt who's that? Chris Christopherson.
Oh yeah, Chris Christopherson.
Oh,
I thought he was dead already.
I
but-
didn't know he passed.
Yeah, he died. He died. Tito Jackson.
Oh yeah, Tito Jackson.
Phil Donahue.
Yep, I thought he was dead too.
So did I.
And then I can't. It looks like Ken Gatt or Ben Gatt. This top one. G-A-T-T.
How do you see that? I
Yeah, I
can't.
don't
That's like an
see that.
invisible
Yeah.
writing.
I'm telling you,
I
he's
need,
got vision.
I need like a decoder thing.
Yeah. Jen, maybe? Jen Gatt?
He's got vision, but then
Yeah.
again, you got to remember, he was a professor.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's why he was
Of
always
what?
I was an educator. I wasn't a professor. I taught
English, right?
4th grade for 10 years, and then I became a principal for the rest of my career. But
Oh, okay.
nice.
this guy, professor.
I never.
But in Spanish, yeah, profesor. So.
Yeah.
Professor, all right. Yeah, and he will correct you on your accent because he's already did it for me. She's an excuse.
I kind of bait her. I can't because she says certain words so cute, and so I kind of bait her, make her say the word, and that Texas accent just springs out. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. I got teased all throughout high school and college for that. Yeah. So a lot of people died.
Famous people,
Yeah, a lot of people died. So we've really, they kind of hit on the election last week, but just a few things for us to kind of dab into. There have been a few incidents of anti-Semitism lately. Amsterdam here in New York as well. I don't know really what the cause of that is. People blaming these people for that or whatever, or just war feelings, but it's not cool.
No, it's not.
Being a bully. If you're unhappy, go see a therapist, man. Get some help.
There it is, therapist.
All right, okay, V.
Okay. I'll leave it alone.
No, I get it, man. I get it. And
I tell you what, if you look at that white barrel up there, I think they might have what we call asshole merit badges. You might be able to find one and give it to them. I've been wanting to give them one for the longest time.
Nice.
That's
Well,
the coveted asshole.
Well, the nice part
Merit
about
badge.
it sitting so close to him, I can always, take out his knees one of these days.
or give him dead leg, like my grandkids say. Give you dead leg, Bumpo. You better watch it.
Give you dead. Bonk,
We used to
bonk.
call it Charlie Horse, or they call it dead leg.
Or like that guy on In Living Color. Who was it? He had that sock with a rock.
Homie,
Yeah.
don't play that.
Homie, don't
It's
play that.
like bonk, bonk, like right over the head.
Oh, I still say, homie, don't play that to my kids all the time.
I'm like, oh, V took a nap back there,
Yeah.
and knocked
He's
him
on
out.
break right now. He'll be back later.
But yeah, we talk a lot about mental health on this show, and being a bully. Hurt people. So whatever you're going through, you taking it out on other people is not the answer. If you're unhappy, go talk to somebody, get help. But putting up flyers and anti-Semitic hate is just not going to be the answer to anything.
And I agree with that. I mean, so many people they get on Facebook and they get on Twitter, and they talk. They get on their soap dish, and they don't realize. And I've realized more of that this year. They don't realize when they speak like that, they don't realize there's people watching that profile and the way you make them feel.
Yeah.
Like at lunch, we were praying, and one of our friends, I didn't even think to ask if it was okay to pray. I mean, it was okay, but you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I don't know about you, but it seems like every week, every day, I learn something. If it's not about life, I learn how I do stuff or how I make people feel.
Mhm.
That's what I learned.
And you're right. It is. I mean, being an American, I can only speak for myself, but I do tend to be a little bit of not empathetic and sympathetic with people from other countries. You're like, oh, you're an American, and you're this, you're that, but you have to be a little more sensitive.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. And we're going to touch on that a little bit more when we come back from this break. Thank you again for tuning in to Uncover with Dale and NBR Radio, where we're giving veterans a voice.
Mhm.
We'll be right back.
I might be young, wasn't born yesterday. I know all about her, it's all over your face. Did you think I was blind? Well, opinions are free. Honey, I can see more than what's right in front of me. I've got eyes in the back of my heart. I've been watching you tear my dreams apart. I knew from the very first day I could see the games you play. I've got eyes in the back of my heart. I know you think the world revolves all around you. That's why you walk on hard. Oh, hey, you do. Like me, she's gonna find she'll never be enough. 'Cause men like you know nothing about love. I've got eyes in the back of my heart. I've been watching you tear my dreams apart. I knew from the very first day I could see the games you play. I've got eyes in the back of my heart. From the very first day I could see the games you play. I've got eyes in the back of my heart. In the back of my heart.
In the proud spirit of America and in the proud spirit of our great country,
Just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your
Today we gather to honor the men and women who've served in our armed forces. We celebrate their courage, their resilience, and their sacrifices they've made so that we can stand here in freedom. Veterans Day is a day of gratitude, yes, but it should also be a call to action. Because honoring veterans is just about remembering their service. It's about truly listening to their stories. It's about giving them a voice, not just a day of thanks, but a platform, a mic, and a listening ear every single day. For too long, veterans have come home from battles on foreign soil, only to face silence here. They've returned to a society that says thank you, but often doesn't know how to truly engage with them. But we can change that right here, right now. You see, when you hand a veteran the mic, you're giving them something beyond words. You're giving them a connection, purpose, and the space to share what it means to serve, to sacrifice, and to rebuild. You're giving them the chance to turn their thoughts, sometimes haunted and heavy, into words that cannot heal. Because when veterans speak, they don't tell their own stories. They speak for others who might be willing, struggling in silence. A voice isn't just a sound, it's a lifeline. And when we give veterans that voice, when we make space for their perspectives in our communities and conversations, we're not just honoring their past, we're strengthening their future. When a veteran shares their story, they're not just reliving their past, they're reshaping their future one word at a time. So today I challenge each of us to give a veteran in our lives the chance to share. Listen, to not just reply, but to understand. Let their words sink in and be transformed by their experiences. Because a veteran with a voice is a veteran with power. Power to lead, to heal, and to inspire change. Let's give our veterans more than our thanks. Let's give them the mic, the platform, and our commitment to listen, because then they talk. We all grow. Thank you.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
And we are back with Uncovered with Dale. Thank you for tuning in. We're at MBR, where we're giving veterans a voice. So, yeah, we were just kind of talking about, bullying and the motivation behind it. If you can stop and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I putting up these flyers?
What is your intentions?
Yes, what is your intentions? The motivation. So, no matter who you voted for or whatever, we're all in this together. We want our leader to succeed because he's going to hopefully keep us safe in this world. So the election's over. It's time to move on and pray for our leaders. Pray for your congressmen, your senators, your president. At the end of the day, no one's going to be perfect. No president's going to solve all the problems of this world. So just have realistic expectations.
Yeah. And like you said, put that energy that you're expending towards furthering our country, furthering the betterment of our country and our society. And, remember, our children are our future. We don't have to say that. We all know that, but they're watching, they're listening.
Hey, I tell you what, I still say that anybody that complains about anything political, I always say, if you don't like it, create a path. Yeah. Educate yourself and run, because the only way that you're going to change anything in this world, and I think Michael Jackson said it, you got to change the man in the mirror first.
Yeah. Be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
And it's just, it seems so simple, but I think a lot of people are looking for someone to blame for this or that.
Right. Spreading hate. It's just an endless cycle that goes nowhere.
I believe there was a report of some, Amber and I were talking about it before the show, a report of young African Americans receiving a text message after the election results about going back into
plantation.
Report to this station to get your slave paperwork and all.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to kids.
Oh my God. And I just want to say one thing there, Mr. H Train. I really liked your PSA. I thought.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Said. It didn't bother me, unlike the ladies to my left and right. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Thought it was heartfelt and well said.
Yes.
Yeah, I really loved what you guys covered last week on the election, and the things that really touched your heart. But whatever the motivation was for these text messages, I don't believe this was a large collection of people. I just believe, like we were saying earlier, a bunch of unhappy people who didn't get, or who are using it as an excuse to spread hate.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly. And that's exactly what it is. Just another excuse.
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
can't stand excuses.
Yeah. So bullying is not cool. We do not support bullying at MBR. And
no bullying and no slander, no nothing.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
No anti-Semitism, none of that stuff.
You know,
and again, like you said, we're all human. We're going to make
Mhm.
mistakes. We've all made mistakes. We're all sinners, but we can either propagate that or we can try to propagate good in the world and try to do, good every day. Every day is a new day. Try to do something good. It's like my daddy tells, as long as you have more good things at the end of the day than bad, you've done your job. Just tomorrow's another day. Do the same thing.
Yeah.
And what were you going to say, Amber? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm so confused. Growing up as a child, learning about the atrocities of World War II and the plight of the Jewish people. I'm shocked at where our world is today, right back at that.
Yeah.
And I'm just so confused because I grew up believing we will never let this happen again. We will never forget.
Yes.
And then
we are history repeating itself, right? And that's why it's important to keep this in our educational system. Children need to be taught about our history. Otherwise, it can completely come back around, and get us. Yeah. One of my neighbors, she's Native American. She's like, Dale, most teenagers don't even know that we exist anymore. They think that they're extinct.
No, I come from Oklahoma, and
a lot of Native Americans.
Yeah.
I lived in Oklahoma a couple of years myself.
Yeah, I'm from around the Comanche Nation and the Kiowa Nation, and I moved to Florida, and basically everybody was like, I've never met anybody from Oklahoma, and then they're like, do you still have Indians there? And I'm like,
oh my gosh,
what?
That's crazy.
What part of Oklahoma?
Lawton Fortsville.
I lived in Broken Arrow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that was being a little dark kid from Colorado. It was a college because I lived in Tennessee for a couple of years, and those were like all Southern belles and proper and this. And then I moved to Oklahoma, and these are country girls, these are cowgirls that are that could rock your world and kick your butt at the same time. And it was like a total culture shock, but it was pretty cool. I remember we did a field trip a couple times to the reservations, and it's pretty cool.
I think their story needs to be told. Native Americans are still with us, everyone. They do exist.
I actually have Robin from the Blue Mountain Tribe is coming on my podcast. And they have a band, and they're really great, and they're actually up for Native American Music Awards right now.
Oh, cool.
So go to the Native Music Awards and vote for Blue Mountain Tribe.
Okay.
Such beautiful music.
Yeah. And I'm trying.
Stone Cold said so.
And I'm trying to get the Comanche Nation to come on the podcast. I've talked to them. Awesome. And so hopefully.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Awesome.
Again, just spread the love, love everyone. We're all in this together. We're all unique. Take a moment to step into your neighbor's shoes. You don't know what their life has been like. And that's what this election was about. We all were looking at it from different perspectives, but we need to respect each other's views. Your story is not my story,
right?
Vice versa. We all have a different story, so we're all looking for everything, but at the end of the day, we do want our leaders to succeed and stop the toxic stuff, and let's just pray for them. So
and that in and of itself is just deteriorated. When we were growing up, we didn't disrespect our leaders like we do now. We didn't do that. We didn't.
And when you have a near-death experience, you change as a person. And people can tell me I'm wrong. It's cool. But I see a different person that won the seat than the person that won the seat years ago.
Yeah.
I
do too. I really do. I do see it. When he did his victory speech, I was impressed. I was like, wow, that's not the, because I did watch one of the debates and I was like, man, same old Trump. But when I saw his victory speech, I was like,
another person that like everybody like counted out and said, oh, he's worthless. All he's doing is showboating and, et cetera, et cetera. Deion Sanders. Look at what he's done with Colorado Buffs.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah,
because like at the end of last year, they were what 3-9 or something like that. And I was like, he's just, it was all smoke and mirrors. But yeah, very impressive this year. Very impressive.
People
and not hesitant to throw his sons under the bus. Like, dude, you played terrible. You played terrible, horrible. I'm like, dang, I can't believe he did that to his own son. I was like, I'm impressed. Like, dude, most head coaches, let alone a parent, would do that on national TV to their own son, their own sibling or their own kids, Yeah. I mean, I was impressed with that, So yeah, it's been impressive.
Yeah.
I think as society, we just need to really learn to, we preach it all the time, but we need to learn how to practice, let them give them a try, give them a chance, eventually they'll develop if they really want to be there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you've been there before and then you fell, hell, I'm sure like a football coach, they might not be good at this team, but they'll be good at the next team because they know what they failed at.
Yeah, and again, just coming back to having realistic expectations of everyone and not putting your identity in politics. If you put your identity in anything other than God, you're going to be let down in this world. You're going to get crushed because we're not capable of being perfect. Someone might have the most truest intentions towards you, but at the end of the day, they can still end up hurting you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So forgiveness, patience with each other, and not taking things personally, and just again, praying for our leaders.
Yeah, and failure is a critical component of true success. It is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
That's I'm a firm believer in that, and every successful person in the world, whether it be in the music industry, whether it be in politics, whatever, they will tell you that. An inventor, they will tell you that, and you can research them and study them, and you will see. I mean, let's just look at Abraham Lincoln. How many times did he run for office?
Mm-hmm.
Failure, and then he was one of our greatest presidents. I mean, just amazing.
Yeah.
And of course, that critical piece of you can't give up. You gotta keep trying.
Yeah. I think personally, next time we should vote for Bulworth. You guys remember that movie with Warren Beatty?
Yeah,
he was going for president. He was.
I forgot about that movie.
He was all cruising in the hood and stuff, like with his drinks and like in his limo. He just didn't care. He's like, look, I gotta go get me a
Ladies
drink.
and gentlemen, Shannon Book has joined us. Hello, Shannon.
Book.
Hey, Shannon.
What's going on? We're supposed to do a duet, man. What's up?
Shannon?
I'm glad you didn't forget the little people.
Hey, I talked to Jack yesterday. He told me that he spent a lot of time with Shannon Book, and I
Texas Jack.
Yeah, and video I don't think can express how good he is in real life, because there's a difference between when I saw him do it on TV compared to on the cell phone that he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Shannon.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're well. How are you?
Shannon Book is a Navy corpsman. He is a veteran artist that sings the hit that was recently nominated for the Josie Awards, "Dear Mom." Very inspirational, very outstanding song. One of my favorite singers.
Yes.
All right, I'll quit doing the pep rally because I'm sure he's like, okay, dude, talk about something other than me.
We'll be calling you, Shannon.
I know, right? That's awesome. Yeah, it's always good to get some good views on here. Again, please feel free to share the link in the chat. Invite any of your friends to watch us live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. So what else is going on in the news? We've covered death. We've covered the election. we've covered a lot of stuff already. I was like,
there was a recent article about homeless veterans statistics that it's down.
Wow.
Yeah, that
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's great.
so
That's awesome.
That's a great thing to hear.
Now, is that worldwide or is that Colorado? Because I was telling Amber this yesterday. I do have a theory. When they interviewed what's his name, Morgan Freeman. When they interviewed Morgan Freeman, and they said they asked him about racism, and he's like, "Quit talking about it." I think as nonprofits, as veterans, we should stop talking about the suicides and saying, hey, this is gonna, we already know that it's happening. We just got to worry about focusing on our neighbor instead of talking about it.
That's a good point.
15 minutes every single day really does change the way somebody looks at life. They really do.
Yeah, and sometimes bringing up suicide to somebody who's not really thought about it exactly.
Right, and you're kind of like pushing it like a FM channel with the. I mean, God, how many times do I have to listen to that Beyonce diva song? I mean, they just
really
play
hates,
the crap out
he
of
hates
it.
Beyonce. No,
I don't hate
Beyonce,
Beyonce, but I do not like that song.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I did cover it because September was Suicide Prevention Month, and I just wanted to give out some resources.
And I know I think that's
appropriate.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
Yeah,
there's a huge difference between handing out resources for help, and I mean, I'm guilty of it too, and trying to use it as like a marketing tool to,
Right,
and I'm guilty of it too. But honestly, we need to stop talking about it, because if we stop talking about it and we start talking about radio and broadcasting and how it makes you feel, then other people are going to start doing that. And then, this number you won't hear about. What I think is great is so far here in Colorado, I haven't heard of any veteran suicides. I don't know if that has anything to do with this, but you know what? If they're doing something, I'm so glad.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, I know my story is probably different from you guys, but NBR radio has definitely been a blessing. It's helped me, my mental health. I was writing before this. Then my husband bought me some equipment in the house. I started recording myself, reading my writings. And then Joel reached out to me. He's like, hey, come down to the show. Come down to the station, let's talk. And I just didn't see this coming. I had thought about a podcast, a few times, but it's just been really a blessing to get me out the house.
Yeah.
I worked remotely. So yeah, this is great. Let's talk some more
about sister,
what NBR has done. Yep. Let's do a pledge drive. All right, guys. We're going to break for a commercial, and we're going to be right back. Thanks for tuning in to Uncover with Dale at NBR Radio.
Stats tell that each day, 22 veterans commit suicide due to PTSD. These stats shook us and urged us to do our part. After hours and hours of thinking, Beekeeping for Veterans was born. Beekeeping for Veterans combines beekeeping with mindfulness meditation. Why combine them? Here's why. Beekeeping causes positive rush of adrenaline while beekeeping. You have to be calm during it. You are mindful of your movements. Each week, a veteran will receive a mindful meditation to build emotional and mental skill sets. Mindfulness is a set of 3 attentional skills that work together: concentration, sensory clarity, and equanimity, mental calmness, composure, evenness of temper. Every time mindfulness is practiced, we build these skills. Beekeeping for Veterans not only helps veterans overcome emotional trauma, but also aids our environment, as without bees, there is no food. Come forward. The people who have supported your country now need your support.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Back to Uncover with Dale and NBR Radio, where we're giving veterans a voice. So we're here with V. We're here with Amber. She has a podcast, Into the Weeds, and we also have Joel. So we were just talking about, I guess talking about suicide too much. Instead of maybe talking about it, ask your buddy, your military buddy, out to lunch. Take them to the movies, ask them what they like to do, go play around a golf, any things that you can do, to get someone out of their head and to get them out of the house. You're actually helping to improve their quality of life, whether they have suicide tendencies or not, ideations or not. So just even your neighbor, if you notice they got a vet sign out there, hey, it's like, go take them out to lunch or something, or just, strike up a conversation with them. But we can change lives one at a time instead of just having a dialogue there, spending time with our fellow vets.
Yeah, I played in a golf tournament on Monday at Pelican Lakes up in Windsor, north of Denver. And it was me and a good friend of mine named Cliff. And he'll be on my show later this month. Is it in December? I can't remember. Anyway, one of my segments is Soldier Spotlight. So one of our guys in our group was named Bob, 86-year-old Army vet.
I was going to say, what in the world is your thing about finding guys named Cliff? This is like the third Cliff.
I have no idea, man. Well, actually, I call him Cliffy just so I can discern between them. But this guy named Bob was just an amazing. He reminds me of my mom. My mom's 92, but fit as a fiddle. And he told us about the third hole. He said, I have to be honest. He goes, I was really nervous because I was worried about who my partners are going to be, because they assign you a hole and, you have partner, teammates. And he goes, but I really have enjoyed playing with you guys. By the end of the round, we're exchanging phone numbers and planning future tee times. And I was just so thrilled because, we just made his week. He was just so happy, not only because of the experience, the joyful experience, but he has some new golf buddies now. So I'm like, right on, man.
Yeah.
This guy is probably lonely. I don't know his whole story and everything, but he called his son up and was talking, hey, man, I got some new partners for us to play with. And it was just really cool. He's just a neat guy, really neat guy.
Yeah.
Just a neat guy. Had tons of stories. And I didn't invite him to come on my show. He kind of balked, but he's like, okay, that's interesting, but he didn't say yes. So I thought I'd throw it out there. Think it was too much? No.
Hey, one life at a time. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm sure you made a big difference with him, and just giving someone something to look forward to. I look forward to coming into the station twice a week, and having some good laughs with you guys and making fun of Joel.
Joel's kind of a bump in the road, but we deal with it. He is a veteran. So.
Yeah, we just mute the mic.
Yeah.
Or just go back to that pole dancing music upstairs.
Yeah, what was that? A rave party upstairs?
Oh my God. I have no idea. Well, I know what it is, but it's never been that bad until now. But
$20 pole lessons.
Do you guys remember that? Do you remember that King of Queens episode? Oh my God. So Carrie,
I remember that. Yeah. He tried so hard to get her all involved, and then
just tried so hard to
and then
she was horrible at it.
She was horrible, and he's like,
"Let me show you, baby." And oh my God, you got to look it up.
Oh my God,
look up King of Queens pole dancing segment, and oh my God, it's hilarious. He does such a great job. Oh my God,
that's crazy. We should play that next time.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. I could watch that. Kevin James is so awesome.
Yes, he's funny.
Yeah.
I watched a couple of episodes of his new show. He had a new show come out, I think I don't think it got
I don't know.
renewed, but it wasn't as funny, but it was a new show with him, and she's in it. Plays like a couple scenes, but he's married to a different woman, and I can't remember what it's called, Kevin something, but it's not as funny as it's kind of hard to beat King of Queens.
Yeah.
So funny,
You know,
huh?
Arthur was just
Oh
phenomenal.
yes, Jerry Stiller.
Jerry Stiller, yeah.
Ben Stiller's dad.
Ben Stiller's dad.
Oh wow.
Awesome guy.
Who was Arthur?
He was the dad of the father-in-law.
Yeah.
He lived in the basement.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. He was Carrie's dad.
Okay. For some reason I was thinking like of Dudley Moore Arthur. The show. With
The movie.
drunk- yeah. The movie,
Yeah,
yeah.
the movie.
Which
Yeah.
Russell Brand redid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How'd he
Really?
do?
I didn't know that.
Oh man, Dudley Moore was amazing.
Yes.
He's probably
Yeah.
one of my
Mhm.
favorites. One of my faves.
Didn't he have Parkinson's? Or
He
something?
did. He was also a gifted musician. He was a pianist.
Really?
He
I
played
didn't know that.
Yeah, he did a
Classically
performance.
trained or what?
Classically trained. He did a performance with Christopher Cross.
Really?
You remember the theme to Arthur? They did a
Thank you, Charles.
They did a duet together.
Oh,
I
okay.
did not know that.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Charles.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Charles.
Charles.
Yeah, so you know, we've got about 9 minutes left. What would you guys would be like a good takeaway, I guess, just to end on, you know, the election? Any words of advice for people to move on?
I would say that as a society, we kind of talked about this through the show. As society, you know, we tell people, hey, you know, give them a second chance, and then like when people get ready to like get out of jail or they're on death row or you know something like that little golden rule that we keep saying give it a chance, it kind of goes out the window.
Yeah.
You just have to remember that, you know, eventually some people do change.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like getting a quarterback in the NFL. It's not going to come developed. It's going to take a while for him to get the move. Perfect example, Bo Nix.
Yeah.
You know, this whole episode that we've been talking about people that's been on the bottom of the barrel. And if you put them in the right environment, they're going to soar. And if you put them in the wrong environment, then they're never going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah. What about you guys? Any words of advice just to kind of wrap up this pivotal point in the U.S.?
I would say it takes less energy to spread love than to spread hate.
Yeah.
So
amen.
spread more love,
Yeah.
spread less hate. And remember, we all have little ones that are watching and listening.
Yes.
And so, I think we've all experienced and we've all either been taught or experienced racism or hatred in some form or fashion.
Mhm.
Let's face it, we are a melting pot and we all do have our biases and we've been exposed to it, but it doesn't mean you need to perpetuate that.
No doubt.
You can be the change, like you said, in the world that you want to see.
Mhm.
I have a lot of things that I changed as a parent, as a husband. I credit the strong women in my life. I've had some great male role models, my father, my grandfather, my brothers and everything, but I credit the strong women in my life that shaped me to be the man that I am today. They're the ones that shape me.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
just my opinion. People may not agree with that. But that's the strong women in my life that have my mother, my wife,
Mhm.
my aunts, my grandmother. They're the ones that shape me. And I can honestly say that. I might have not said that 10 years ago or 15 years ago, but I can honestly say that today.
Mhm.
And you great ladies, of course.
Oh, thank
Aw.
you. So sweet. Yeah. I think, just, having again, those realistic expectations and giving everyone a chance, like Joel said, just, we all have done things in our past, but it's never too late to change. You can go to therapy, you can read, you can get rid of, if you have hate in your heart or unforgiveness, you can push through it.
Mhm.
Well, I'm going to therapy after this. So.
It's the word today, guys.
Wow.
Is therapy. It's a new, actually, it's a secret East
Why you gotta be
Texas
so
term.
mean?
It's a secret East Texas term.
I
No,
should
it's
play that
good.
Taylor Swift song.
I
Why
like
you gotta
it.
be so mean?
It's funny. I like it. I like being made fun of. It's cool. You got to be able to laugh at yourself.
Yes.
That's why I make fun of my OCD and other stuff I do.
Yeah.
So,
And I can feel your pain because I used to be made fun of the way I said words too.
yeah.
Because of my, my
And now you're
Spanish
cured.
heritage and Italian. Yeah.
Now you're cured.
Yeah.
You're cured. Is that how you say it?
Liar. You're a liar.
I wish I knew how to speak another language, because if somebody corrected me like that, I'd be like, oh, and how do you say this?
Man.
Spanish or whatever.
Did you see that? He just like rolled his neck.
Yeah, did you see that?
We're gonna get some attitude over there. Okay.
Yeah.
Snap, slap.
All right. Well, Amber, take us out? What do you think? What any words of advice for the public?
So
And Amber's from Missouri, guys.
Yes. My philosophy for life is love one another, because love is from God.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not know love, then you do not know God.
Amen. Well said.
Amen. Well, I want to thank you all for tuning into another episode of Uncover with Dale. We had Amber from Into the Weeds with us, V from the Revel Experience, and Joel. Please tune in next week. We'll be actually speaking with a psychiatrist on brain mapping and how you can correct your brain patterns in your mind and be more productive.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Have a wonderful week. Stay warm if you're in Colorado. Take care.
Bye.
Take care, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.